your Bibles, notepads, and pens, and take notes. Yup, take notes. Israel's Church Couch Conversation. Let's get in these scripts, digging these scripts. Couch. Come on, learn with us. Yup. Come on, turn with us. In this word with us. Couch. Conversation. Ha.
Peace and blessings, family. Welcome back to another couch conversation. On this couch conversation, we're going to pick up with Hebrews chapter 12. We're going to do it in its entirety. And of course, you know what to do. Get your Bibles, your pen, paper, take notes, follow along. And without further ado, Zahara, let's get into this Hebrews chapter 12.
All right, it says, wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us.
Right.
And let us run with patience the race that is set before us.
Okay, and so we know that he had told us about those of our forefathers and foremothers that had faith before us. And so he's saying now that we see that we are surrounded with so great a cloud of witnesses. From chapter 11, we had Sarah, Moses, Abraham, we had Isaac and Abel. We had all those that are witnesses to us that we all need to make sure that we lay aside every weight or every sin that prevents us from running this race. Because you can't run with weights or your sin, because that bog. Try to run with some weights on.
Boy, it's tough.
I had them little ankle weights. I gave them things back to Reggie Jr. Couldn't even lift my leg
right, the
up.
little weight vest.
No, that ain't gonna work for me.
Because it weighs you down.
It weighs you down.
Makes it difficult for you.
Yes, and you can't run with that. But he said, but let us do run with what? Patience. The race that is set before us. So you know, at a set pace, you gotta have patience.
Yeah.
Finish line is way off. Got time?
You got to pace yourself. Yep.
We ain't into 50-meter dash where you got to get there, run so many yards within a minute click. You know, you ain't got to be Usain Bolt, because it ain't given to the swift or the strong, but it's given to the one that endure to the end, and you're going to have patience.
Well, that's like what you just said. We ain't running at 50 meter. We in that cross country.
Yes. Got miles.
Country race.
Yes, you got to have miles to go. Okay, verse 2.
Looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God.
All right, so it says looking unto Jesus. So let your focus be on Jesus while you're running this race. He is the author. He is the founder and the finisher and the completer, the perfecter of our faith. And it says, who for joy that was set before him, he endured. And so for the joy set before him, he endured the cross, despising the shame. He wasn't ashamed to suffer to save his children. Because most people, they'll be ashamed, right?
Yeah.
To suffer those things. But then he sat down on the right hand on the throne of God. And so, and then this is why when it comes to us, we need to have that patience and not be like Peter, because when everything was going good, it was all good till it wasn't. And so now you in the crosshairs. I know you was with him. You told like him. Then he get the cussing and swam.
Denied the Lord.
Yes, because why? He was shamed. But see how that shame came on him in that instance. But of course he said, now once you go, Jesus told him, now you go strengthen your brother. You know, and so remember Peter told Jesus, I'll never be offended of, you know, till that persecution came.
But he wore that shame like a backpack.
He sure did. That's right. And so, and that's just our warning, is to look to Jesus. And not the things that we suffer and go through, even though it's tough now.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. It is tough. But verse 3.
For consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be wearied and faint in your minds.
You know, just think about it, Zahara. Just think about what Christ endured, how that contradiction, what was that contradiction? You got sinners telling him he a sinner.
Yep.
And that he should be put to death, but it was them that were indeed the sinners and should be put to death for being sinners. You know, but despising that shame, but he endured that contradiction.
That's right.
So let us go to John 9 in verse 16.
John chapter 9 and verse 16 says, Therefore said some of the Pharisees, This man is not of God, because he keepeth not the Sabbath day. Others said, How can a man that is a sinner do such miracles? And there was a division among them.
See, they're calling him a sinner. He ain't keeping this Shabbat. No, sir. But it was those miracles, and that made a division be there. Verse 25.
He answered and said, Whether he be a sinner or no, I know not. One thing I know, that whereas I was blind, now I see.
And so this is the blind man that Jesus healed on the Sabbath day. He said, now I don't know whether he be a sinner or not. All I know is I can see. I was blind yesterday. But one thing we know, a sinner can't make a person see, spiritually or physically.
Yes, sir.
And so verse 29.
Then they reviled him and said, Thou art his disciple, but we are Moses' disciples. We know that God spake unto Moses. As for this fellow, we know not from whence he is.
Because you might have known about Moses, but you didn't know you were dealing with the one that was going to come like a prophet, like unto Moses. Okay, verse 30.
The man answered and said unto them, Why, herein is a marvelous thing, that you know not from whence he is, and yet he have opened mine eyes. Now we know that God heareth not sinners, but if any man be a worshipper of God, and doth his will, him he heareth.
What is little blind?
Well, he dropped it.
Wasn't blind no more. This man done had his eyes open.
Yes,
he
sir.
told him, he said, you got all this information about Moses, but why you marveling at this thing and talking about you don't know from whence he is? Because he's telling you that same book that you saying that you be Moses' disciple, you know that God don't hear sinners.
Hey, boy,
You get out, boy, they wanted to kill him.
yeah,
After that.
they threw him out. They threw him
Yes,
straight
sir.
out of the temple.
And that's how it is. He set that straight. But then look, but it said that Christ endured that contradiction, you know.
Wow. That go to show you when you come to help these people, you will be hated.
Yes.
They didn't say, "Oh man, praise God." You know, your eyes open after all this
Yeah, you
time
couldn't
being
see.
blind. You should be worshiping God. No,
Yes.
who did it?
Yes.
No, you're a sinner.
Yeah, how dare you see?
How dare you heal somebody on the Sabbath
That's
day?
right.
You know, man of God. We follow Moses.
That's
No,
right.
you don't, because if you did, you would believe what he said about this one.
Yes, that's right.
But instead, you full of envy
They full of
and
envy.
hate. It's done consumed you.
Yes, that's right. And it's no difference from, you know, just like today you got these men running around with big old Adam apples, toting a pocketbook, twitching with high heels and fake nails, talking about you a woman, but they call you a devil.
Yep.
When you tell them you a sodomite,
Yep, man, they call
you
you.
know. And then you got women that's holding hands with other women and talking about, this is my wife. Heifer, that is not your
My
wife.
partner.
Yeah. But then they want to call you a sinner. But I despise the shame. You go ahead and call me a sinner, but I keep these commandments.
That's right.
I follow Jesus. I'm like the blind. My eyes done been open now. And that's how you have to be. Despise the shame. Let them talk. You got family members who don't believe, telling you in the coat.
Yeah, let them.
Saddles. Make fun of it.
Yeah, let them go on and do their thing.
Yep.
If they ain't doing it, I'll be worried.
Yes.
Let's not be following Christ.
That's right. You
I
follow
must got
something
work
else.
to do.
That's right.
Because you like me a little too much.
That's right. So that should make a light bulb come on. Okay, we're going back to Hebrews 12 in verse 4.
You have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin.
Boy, you ain't even got down to blood yet. You ain't even resisted. You ain't shed not one drop of blood yet. They just doing a whole lot of talking.
Yep,
talking
they just
about
talking.
you, making fun of you, ostracizing you from their company. But look, they stoned Stephen.
Sure did.
They tied Jeremiah up with ropes, put him in the dungeon and all of that.
Put them in stocks.
Yes. Now you ain't went
You
that
went
far
that
yet.
far, smack you in the face.
That's right. It's just words being said.
You ain't stood up before no council.
That's
They
right.
done set up liars against you to falsely accuse you. You ain't been that far yet.
No.
Give you over to the government
That's right. They ain't did
to have
that.
you arrested.
Look at John the Baptist head on the platter. You
Because he
ain't went
told the
that far.
truth.
Yes. Yep. So surely you could take some words.
Yep.
And being ostracized by your family, so-called used to be friends, co-workers. Let them talk. I despise the shame. Okay, verse 5.
And you have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him.
All right. And so, have you forgotten the words of encouragement, which talks to you just like these encouraging words that talks to you just like you were children? This is how it addresses you. My son, despise not the correction of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. And why is that? Verse 6.
For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourges every son whom he receiveth.
Oh, so this is why he's telling you in verse 5 not to despise the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. Because whom the Lord loveth, he chastises and scourges every son whom he receives. And so let us go to Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 5 and 6.
It says, Thou shalt also consider in thine heart that as a man chasteneth his son, so the Lord thy God chasteneth thee.
Oh,
Therefore thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways and to fear him.
all right. And this is what this chastening is for. This rebuke is to keep you keeping the commandments and to walk in his ways. And so don't think that you can be disobedient to the Lord and you're just not going to be punished. No, he's going to chastise
That's
you
right.
to bring you back into line. But why is that? Because he said he loves you.
He loves
wants
you.
you to make it in the
Wow.
kingdom. He don't want to destroy you, but he got to chastise you. And that way you'll stay on this straight and narrow.
That's right.
And so let us go to,
Verse back to Hebrews 12 and 7.
yes, verse 7.
If you endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not?
All right. And so if you endure, that means you
Endure.
got to be able to
Oh boy.
be long suffering. You got to be able to take this chastisement.
And we know even when your parents whip you,
Ooh,
boy,
Lord.
it feel like it be forever too, boy. That belt stay on your backside, boy,
Yeah.
hitting arm, leg.
That's right. And you be so hurt, you be like, I ain't speaking to him no more. Tell you to come in here and eat. I don't want to eat. You just, but it's eternal. Don't despise the
Don't
correction.
despise
They
it.
did that because
Because
they
they
loved
loved
you.
you. Yep.
So you endure the chastening or the correction because it's God dealing with you as sons. And so he said, what father is it that don't chasten his son.
That's right.
Name one. We'll see. Let us go to Proverbs 23.
Just a note too that show you how important fathers are.
Yes, he said father.
Fathers.
Need them fathers then to chasten their sons, and that chastisement, it also shows from that father that real love, because even in the natural, when the fathers get on the children in the home and brings that discipline and correction, is because why? You know, them heathens out there, they gonna kill
That's
you.
right.
They gonna throw you in jail.
Yeah.
They gonna I mean, you know what's gonna happen to you. You're gonna get shot.
Yep. So I gotta train you. Gotta raise you up.
Yes.
Tell you no, don't do this.
That's
'Cause
right.
this is what happens as a result
And you don't want
when you
none of
get
that.
out there and
That's
they
right.
get you.
Because your father love, it chastises you, but you still alive.
Yep.
They still gonna feed you, clothe you, provide for you. But out there, when the enemy get hold to you,
Yep.
yeah, ain't no turning back from that. So let's go to Proverbs 23 and 13.
It says, withhold not correction from the child.
Just let them run amok and do what they want to do.
No,
She
withhold
can
it
make her
not.
own decisions.
No, withhold not correction.
Okay.
For if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die.
Put them in the corner.
No, beat him with the rod.
Put them in time.
Beat him with the rod.
Remember Brother Reggie that one Sabbath was talking about, you know, I'm going to tell you to go get that switch off the
Boy.
tree. I'm bringing back the smallest business. Because when she go get it, she getting the thickest,
Get that
longest
thick
one.
branch, boy.
Got that whip. No. But
Yep.
you, especially dealing with Israelite children. Oh, you're going to have to get the belt, shoe, whatever you can get. They got to feel some pain.
You see, the Babylonian system is against this. No, don't beat them children.
Yeah.
We'll call the CPS on you.
But those same children, when they get out of hand with the police,
They
what
beat
they
them
do.
and shoot 'em.
Child look like the elephant man when they done. Eyes swole,
Yep.
lip bust.
They be stomping them,
They
beating
bring the
everything.
correction, don't they? But we not to withhold that correction from a child. Verse 14.
Thou shalt beat him with the rod, and shalt deliver his soul from hell.
Oh.
Some people cringe around. Beat them, sure, that's child abuse. Oh, you know it's not. The Lord is telling you what to do.
Yeah.
You ain't doing it for no reason.
Some of them don't even want you to say anything. So, little Johnny, go to your room. You know, because I don't want to be verbally abusive to Johnny. Johnny going to end up being a serial killer.
Yep.
Yep. Because you're going to deliver his soul to hell, and he's going to take you through pure hell.
That's why the Lord whooping Israel. How he whoop 'em.
Yes.
Beating that hell out you.
Yes. Literally.
Literally.
Got to beat the hell out you.
Because he loves his people.
Yes.
He want them to straighten up.
Yep. So you
So
got
we getting a global butt whipping.
Sure is.
We getting a worldwide butt whipping.
That's right. But Zahar, you know what keep you from getting that one? Do what's right.
Do what's right.
Walk in his
That's
commandments
right.
and all his ways.
Yep.
But that's too hard because, you know, we...
And some of us done got smart, didn't they, boy? Because you like that child that see the other sibling get beat.
Yeah.
And you
like,
smart up. You like, go do
"No,
that,
none
boy.
of that." Almost stay on
My
the
sister
straight and
got
narrow.
long slow. I ain't finna do what she did.
That's right. No, mama them don't like that when she do
They
that.
come out, you act like you cleaning the kitchen.
That's right.
Yeah,
Because she looking at you like,
look
I'm
at
waiting on you
like,
to
oh,
do
no, I'm
something. You said something? No, ma'am. I don't want none of that.
That's right.
Yep. But we have all those witnesses before us to show us how to do this thing. Okay, back to Hebrews 12 and 8.
Okay, it says, but if ye be without chastisement, whereof are all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons.
And so just like in the natural, it's people I grew up with, those who, I mean, they was able to do what they wanted to do. They was able to go where they wanted to go, got all these different baby daddies. I mean, some of the children in jail. Some of them didn't even make it. They got killed young, you know, because that chastening wasn't there. from the parent. So that parent really doesn't love you when they let you do what you want to do, because there's consequences out there. And if a person loves you, they're going to warn you. They're going to get on to you. Why? Because they want to see you live.
Yes.
They want to be around you. Do you want to be around to hold your child, to talk to them? But because you really love them, and so you'll chastise them.
Yep.
And that's how the Lord is with us. But if you go without chastisement, he said you're a bastard.
You are bastards. Wow.
And so, which means he's not your father. What you do, that's your
Yeah, because you don't care. Yeah, ain't none of your dad, your dad or mom.
Yeah, you illegitimate. I don't know you. You somebody else's child, but not mine. I want us to go to Psalms 94. I don't know if I have it on yours.
Oh, no.
Psalms 94, 12 and 13.
Psalms chapter 94 and verses 12 and 13.
Yes, 12 and 13.
It says, Blessed is the man whom thou chastenest, O Lord, and teacheth him out of thy law, that thou mayest give him rest from the days of his adversity, until the pit be digged for the wicked.
All right. But see, blessed is the man
Blessed.
who thou chastenest, O Lord,
Wow.
and teaches him out of thy law. And so not only does the Lord chastise, but he's going to teach you. So you just can't beat the child and then not give them
you have to
an
instruct.
Yes.
Yeah.
And instructions on to why this is happening.
It's basically constructive discipline.
Constructive discipline.
You're not just
yes.
doing it just,
Yeah,
you know.
you're just wilding out
Yeah,
on the child.
just wild. Like, just out of nowhere. They sitting there
Yes.
eating cereals and you come knocking them aside. You know,
It's not that.
no, that's not what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it says that thou mayest give him rest from the days of his adversity. And so those days of adversity, the things that would cause him or her to be in trouble in their life, the things that would have caused him to fall in snares and pitfalls, and then they want to do what's trending, or they want to just do what the other friends do. But your chastisement, along with the teaching, it keeps them. They have rest. See, they resting while the other children, you at the police station, you at the school.
That's true.
You know, you out there in the neighborhood because your child always starting something, fighting in your front yard and all that. No.
Yeah.
Yep. So that this discipline is very good, and this is how the Lord is dealing with Israel. But we think that the Lord hates us.
Yeah.
You know?
This is hate. This ain't the way. Because that's what they tell the teachers he sends to discipline these people.
Yes.
This is hate. You hate me. Oh, that's hate speech. You so violent. Vile. No, he not.
You said that just hurt me.
I'm unsubscribed. I can't stand you. Well, go ahead then.
Yes. But the person care about you because they want to see you make it.
That's right.
But you unsubscribe. Okay, let us go back to Hebrews 12 and 9.
It says, Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live?
All right. And so didn't we have fleshly daddies that corrected us? And after that, he said, you gave them much you respected.
You showed
You
them.
gave them much respect. So shouldn't we much rather be in subjection to the Father of spirits, the one who gives us actual life, the God of heaven? We should be in subjection to him and do what he says to do.
Yep, that's
Because I know my daddy gave you 3 licks with that little 2x4. It never exceeded 3. But them jokers burnt like hell. But just think about them licks that the Lord gonna give you. You see? But it was done out of love. And you know when you disobeyed, them
You
licks
know
was
it,
coming.
yeah. You
be
do
like,
it.
Daddy, please. Nope.
Nope.
Turn around
Come
and
on.
move your hand. Them things burnt.
In that second, we like, you just hear a song playing. You don't know where it's coming from. You, Lord, heal me, Lord, and I won't ever Do that again.
That's right. Them 3 legs took you
Boy, that thing
out.
start breaking you down.
Yes,
Boy, you
sir.
start looking like a transformer. You go from standing up straight.
Them 3 legs was the Godhead, the Father, Son, and the angel. Boy, I ain't telling you no truth. Yeah, boy. It was not good, but it kept you. You know what? You say,
Yeah,
I
I
know.
ain't doing that again.
And your mama, she just beat you wild.
Yeah.
You just go to long stomping.
Yeah, like she
You
don't-
like, do I want to face mama? Or do I want them 3 legs? Neither. I'm just going to be
Yeah.
happy. I don't want none of it.
She beating you like she one of them conductors in choir.
Yeah. Yes. Bust your
You
behind.
ain't gotta worry about me showing out.
Yes. Woo.
Like mama turned into a UFC fight overnight. You be like, oh, where'd she get that move from? She been taking jiu-jitsu classes?
Oh, goodness. All right, y'all. Hebrews 12 and 10.
It says, for they verily for a few days chasten us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness.
Okay. And so our fleshly parents or fathers, they discipline us for a few days. You know, you get that whooping and go to your room, don't come out. You can't go out. You know, you can't come out for 2 days. You just eat, go to your room and take a bath
That'd
and
be
go to bed.
worse than the whooping. You like, man, just go ahead and
Don't
whoop
turn
me. At
on
least
the
I can
TV.
go out.
Oh, yes. But that's just for a few days that they do it. But afterwards, you know, and it was for their own pleasure till they felt like you got it in your head that what you was doing was wrong for you to stay out of trouble. And that was for what our profit, it was to benefit us. But see, is God disciplines us for our good, that we may be partakers of his what?
Holiness.
His holiness.
Wow. Want you to
Because
make.
that's for our benefit, right? So let us go to Leviticus 19 and verse 1 and 2.
That's why we got to follow this word and keep listening to the voices out here around
Yes.
telling us to do opposite of what the Lord say, because it's going to be to your detriment.
Yes.
Leviticus 19 and 1 says, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, and say unto them, ye shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy.
All right. And so this is what he told Moses. I'm their father. So they're going to be holy just like I am holy. And it's the same way when you lived in your parents' house, you didn't live how you wanted to live.
Sure
You didn't do
didn't.
what you wanted to do.
Their house, they rules.
That's right. And you're going to follow them or else. That or else is not good. And it's the same way with God. He tells us but that we may be partakers of his holiness.
That's why he called it the household of faith, the house of Israel, all that.
Yes.
Why? Because it's his house.
It's his house. That's
His
right.
rule, his law, his commandments.
That's right.
You do them or else. And Israel getting that or else.
That's right. I always like the or else, don't they?
I don't like that or else.
Or else. No, just just do what's right. It's for our benefit, because we're trying to make the kingdom. And, where this chastening from your parents lasted a few days, well, if you can't get it through the Lord chastening, you can throw the lake of fire.
That's right.
Forever.
See it. Yeah. That's
Ain't
right.
No cutoff. All right. I'll go back to Hebrews 12 and 11.
Okay, and it says, now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby.
Oh, and so he didn't tell you chastening feel good. So you're not happy when you being whooped, because it's painful getting them licks being put on you. But afterward, after you have received that whooping, it yields what? Peaceable fruits of righteousness. You've been trained, and so in your mind, you remember from that last whooping that I get in trouble whenever I don't do what's right.
Yep.
So I ain't gonna do that no more. So that fruit, you see what it's yielding? Is yielding training you to behave,
Yep.
to act right. In the same way as in
It
this
starts
word.
transforming you.
Yes. That's right. It transforms you. And guess what? You're gonna be a model citizen.
That's right. Yep.
You're gonna do exactly what the Lord tell you to do. Okay? And I like that he shows you the natural
Yes.
to show you how it is spiritually.
Spiritually. Yep.
Okay, verse 12.
Wherefore lift up the hands which hang down, and the feeble knees.
Right? And so strengthen yourself after you done got this whooping. Stop walking around moping. Mama and them, daddy, them don't like me.
Boy, we know about them hands that hang down, boy. You be like this.
Get back in the race and start, because, you know, it's time to run this race. So strengthen yourself.
Yep.
That whooping was just for a little bit. Okay, verse 13.
And make straight paths for your feet, lest that which is lame be turned out of the way, but let it rather be healed.
Right, and so now that you've been disciplined, you don't receive that whooping, you strengthen yourself. Now walk right, get on the straight and narrow path, because there are some others that are weak, that may be turned out of the way. They done seen you done gave up, but then we have these so like greater cloud of witnesses.
That's right.
That we can look, that no matter what they went through, they stayed
Sure
the
did.
course. They kept the faith, and that's how we have to be, so that what it rather be healed. Okay, let us go to Job 29. And verse 14.
Job chapter 29 and verse 14 says, I put on righteousness, and it clothed me. My judgment was as a robe and a diadem.
Okay.
I was eyes to the blind, and feet was I to the lame.
Okay. And here, this is Job talking, and of course he was saying that he was talking in the parable. He said, I put on righteousness and it clothed me. Job, he lived right, you know, and his judgment, my judgment was as a robe and a diadem, and just like Christ, the same way, his robe in his that diadem, his judgment, he brought justice to those who needed it. Verse 15. Oh, you already read it. I'm talking about verse 15. No, I can.
Okay.
I was eyes to the blind and feet, and I was feet to the what?
To the lame.
So, by you staying on the right path, being clothed with righteousness, you eyes to the blind, those can't see. But see, like people look at you, and if they see you go through something,
That's true.
If you give up, they gonna still be blind. They're
Yeah.
gonna stay in darkness, and it says in what? Feet to the lame, because person see you walk right,
Yeah.
then they gonna want to walk right, because people are always watching you.
Yeah. And it's encouraging to others.
Yes, it is. Then Peter, when he was at the gate of Beautiful, and the man said, you know, give me some money. And Peter said, 7 gold have I none, but such as I have I give unto you. In the name of Jesus Christ, rise up and walk. And you got to give that to people so that they won't be lame. Peter didn't say, no, man, I'm broke. Lord don't never give
you
me no
asking me
money.
for? Yeah.
No.
Because he knew the real riches anyway.
Yes. Verse 21.
Unto me men gave ear, and waited, and kept silence at my counsel. After my words they spake not again, and my speech dropped upon them.
Okay. And so unto me men gave ear. People, they listen to what you have to say. And what, they kept silence at my count. They wasn't up there arguing.
Yeah.
No, that ain't verse, that ain't chapter. You're supposed to be here to receive
Right.
counsel. And after my words, they spoke not again, and at my speech that dropped upon them. Why they got that wise counsel? You give them the word of God. They gonna come back and say, well, I don't understand what you were saying, but when you give them this, it counsels, it leads, it guides, it instructs. They ain't got nothing else to say.
Yep, nothing to say. Yeah.
Okay? And so you walk in the paths of righteousness. You be eyes for the blind and for the lame, so that they can get in the race and run it. You're like, oh Lord, she done sprung up. Ain't she gonna get back in there?
Yep.
Yep. All right. Back to Hebrews 12 and 14.
It says, "Follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord."
All right. So it says, follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man can see the Lord. And so we ought to follow peace with all men, with holiness. But that don't mean be stupid. Because these people today setting people up to kill them. And it's not like people come with a sign that says, you know, too bad we don't have a sign that say warning.
Yeah.
That comes, you know, people come with a warning. No,
red flags.
you have to have discernment. And so we do follow peace. We ain't out there starting stuff with people. We are, you know, following peace.
Instigating stuff.
So these jokers dangerous today, without which no man shall see the Lord. So let us go to Psalms 34 and verse 14.
Psalms chapter 34 and verse 14 says, "Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it."
All right, and so we are to depart from evil, not follow it,
That's right.
and to do good, and to seek peace, and to pursue it.
Seek
Seek peace, follow after, seek it, pursue it. That's what we do.
Not seeking trouble.
No, but because you know Israelites
Oh
love
yeah,
some
they
trouble.
love finding something. Girl,
Yeah.
they talk about over there, girl. You heard what you call? They love start something.
And he also says is what? To do good. And what is that good that we're doing? This here word.
That's right.
You keeping them commandments, you doing good. Okay? Because he said, without which no man shall see the Lord. Because then he said, be ye holy, for I am holy.
I am holy, yeah.
Without that, you ain't seeing the Lord. Okay? Back to Hebrews 12 and 15.
Okay. It says, "Looking diligently lest any man fail of the grace of God, lest any root of bitterness springing up trouble you, and thereby many be defiled."
All right. He say, look diligently lest any man fail of the grace of God, lest any root of what bitterness springing up trouble you, and thereby many be defiled. And so, you know, we have that grace extended to us, and that's what, like in Hebrews 10 and 26, it says, for if we sin willfully, that after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins. So where's your grace?
Yep.
You don't have any. And then he says that root of bitterness, it spring up and trouble you, and thereby many be defiled, because some it's just gonna spread.
Yep.
But that's why he said you live peaceably with all men and follow holiness. Okay, but let's go to Ephesians 4 in verse 31.
It says, "Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God for Christ's sake hath forgiven you."
All right, and so let all what bitterness, this root of bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor, evil speaking be put away from you, and with all malice. Why? Because we are about what? Peace and holiness. And we are supposed to be what? Kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God for Christ's sake have forgiven you. And so, but if that root of bitterness springs up, and it's going to trouble you, and then it's going to defile many. Because then this one going to take that side, and you're going to have this clack and this click.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be a whole mess. But this is the thing. Israel has never learned to live peaceably
Yeah.
with one another. They good with other nations.
Yeah, now when it comes to other nations, boy, they got it down pipe.
Like, boy, you'll think they holding this the way they carry on.
Yeah, you be like,
the other
wow. Boy, you got us splendid,
Boy,
excellent
point.
behavior.
Yes. You don't think they could do no wrong. But when it comes to each other, okay.
Sad.
Go on verse 16.
Okay, Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person, as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
Oh, and so just like that birthright didn't mean anything to Esau, just like those who have had that grace of God, they go and defile themselves. It don't mean nothing to them.
Yeah.
Grace of God, it fails them because they don't care about it.
Yep, just like he didn't care. Not his birthright.
Not at all.
And it's funny because we have our right. Birthright
Yes.
is what? The kingdom. Everything God promised and just gonna throw it away.
That's right. Yeah, and it's bitterness. You know, you see how that it talks about that envy and malice and all that. Boy, Israel got it bad.
Yes, they
And
got
jealous.
that bad for each other.
And they sitting up there bitter. It even be on their face.
Yeah, you looking at them
Yeah, people call it the stank face.
like, what you ate, a warhead?
Yeah. A sour patch or something. Yes. Because they can't hold what's inside of them.
Yeah.
And then they go and
they spew it around.
and guess what? It trouble you. You know, it brings trouble to you. I haven't even done anything, but it troubles you because they ain't gonna leave you alone because they want to tear you down, and
That's right.
they don't care about their birthright like Esau. They just want to do you in.
Yep.
Okay, verse 17.
For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears.
Oh, so later, afterwards. Oh, he wanted his inheritance then. He wanted that blessing, but he was what? Rejected. There was found no place of repentance. There wasn't no changing and going back on it. Even though he sought it carefully with tears.
They remind me when Jesus said there should be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
That's right, Zara. So, boy, you better be doing some serious thinking about this thing. It's serious business. I don't care how much the weeping and the gnashing of teeth, boy. When your teeth gnash, you know it's real crying. Can't even get it out. That's how it was. Ain't no going back after that. No. The Genesis 25:29.
Right, it says, and Jacob sawed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint.
Jacob, boy, he had them onions and bell, but he had that stuff smelling good. And you done came from the field, you saw. And you faint.
And you know you really don't get hungry until somebody, until you smell some cooking. Boy, you be
Yes.
good at first. You don't even realize you hungry. Then you smell
Yes.
some. Boy, that stomach gonna flip it.
Yes.
And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
All right. So it wasn't cause of his color, but it was cause of that red pottage that he was called Edom. Edom. And he said, feed me, because you know you smelling that food cooking.
Yeah, boy.
Girl, give me some of that you got
Yeah.
cooking on the stove. I want some. But what Jacob said.
And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright.
So it looked like something should have popped up in his head. Like, my birthright.
You
For
really
a
want
plate
my
of food.
birthright? Yeah.
But what Esau said.
And Esau said, Behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me?
If I die, I'm dying with his birthright. But no, I'm hungry. It's my flesh. I gotta gratify this flesh. So the birthright don't mean nothing to me. What good it's gonna do me? Boy, verse 33.
And Jacob said, Swear to me this day. And he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob.
Wow. Jacob said, swear to me. And he done sold his birthright to Jacob. And we got people today, our women selling out their birthright for shoes and clothes and houses and cars. You know, all you selling your birthright for stuff.
So he didn't steal it. Like they said, he said Jacob stole the blessing.
No, he didn't steal it. You
He stole the
sold
birthright.
it. Yeah. Birthright for a plate of food. You ain't say my boy Daryl. You went straight to the birthright. Boy, I tell you. Verse 34.
Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils. And he did eat and drank, and rose up, and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
Boy, he hated it.
Boy.
It was like, give me this birthright for. And our people, they despise their birthright through despising themselves. Why I had to be up polite. Why I got this kind
That's
of hair.
right, yeah.
Because you're an Israelite. That's why.
That's right.
But you despise being a part of the household of God. Just think about that. You'd rather be of another nation. Wow. But you got the birthright. But go ahead.
Lord
So
have
let
mercy.
us look at Genesis 27, and we're going to do 32.
Genesis 27, 32 through 34. It says, And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison, and brought it to me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed.
He was that smooth skin Jacob
Boy,
that came in there.
had
Pretended
that
to
goat
be-
hound. Yeah, daddy. Yeah, it's me. Probably had to change his voice. Yeah,
Yes.
it's me. You sure? Come here, let me see. Yeah, daddy. Yeah, so anyway, about that the blessing.
Come on, let's get it.
Let's get it popping.
Yes, sir. Ooh, all right. But it said that, but look, Isaac trembled, boy, exceedingly. Boy, he
Yeah.
was, who did I just give the birthright to? The
Man.
blessing. And he talking about he that came in before you. And he said, I already done ate. Israelite be by that food now.
Yeah.
And have blessed him, and he shall
Be
be
blessed.
blessed. But look what Esau did.
And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto to his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father.
But see, that's why he said, even though he sought it with tears, that was a sealed deal.
Yeah, it was a done deal.
Like, boy, when you crying exceeding with bitter, boy, you all on the ground on your knees
Yeah.
begging and pleading and crying. But there was no
Holding on
going
to
back.
kneecaps and everything. Please.
Yes, please, Daddy, please. Like, no, but you despised it. You said, "What is this
Yeah, that'd be
birthright to
good
me
for
anyway?"
me. Yep.
Every time it's that food.
So
This
the Lord
food
left
got him
that.
again.
Yep. So the Lord left that in there for us.
That's right.
Cause we just love to leave it with the man. Oh, that was him. No, it's gonna be you too.
That's right.
That's why this writer brought it up.
He brought it
Don't
up.
be like Esau.
You want to do that? No.
Pharisees, scribes, all them, they did that. They despised.
They sure
birthright.
did. Yes. Sure did. No, right?
All right, so.
Hebrews 12 and verse 18.
For ye are not come unto the mount that might be touched, and that burned with fire, nor unto blackness and darkness and tempest,
Okay, verse 19.
and the sound of a trumpet, and the voice of words, which voice they that heard entreated that the word should not be spoken to them any more.
Okay, and so he's saying, I'm not taking you to that mountain that couldn't be touched in Exodus 19. And we know verses 20 and 21 was added by the translator, but we'll go ahead and read it.
For they could not endure that which was commanded, and if so much as a beast touch the mountain, it shall be stoned or thrust through with a dart. And so terrible was the sight that Moses said, I exceedingly fear and quake.
Okay, verse 22.
But ye are come unto Mount Sion, and unto the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem, and to an innumerable company of angels.
But this is where we are going.
Yes, sir.
We are going to the kingdom of the living God.
Yes, sir.
This Mount Zion, that heavenly Jerusalem, to an innumerable company of angels.
Yes, sir.
This is what it is about. Okay, verse 23.
To the general assembly and church of the firstborn, which are written in heaven, and to God, the judge of all, and to the spirits of just men made perfect.
All right, and so to the general assembly and the church of God, the first of the firstborn, which are written in heaven, read them first fruits,
Yes, sir.
which are written in heaven, and to God, the judge of all, and to the spirits of just men made perfect. And so those men who have the mind of Christ and have received that spiritual body, that resurrected body. And so those who are made perfect. And I remember growing up, and they used to say, they used to sing a song like, we're marching. We're marching, marching up to Zion, that beautiful city of God. That's where we going. That heavenly Jerusalem. See, them saints of old, they knew
They
something.
knew
I
something.
don't care
They
what
sure
y'all say.
did.
They knew
Yep.
something.
Yeah.
They knew something. They were marching. They understood something. For them not to be able to read and write.
They still
We can
understood.
read and write
Yeah,
and still.
just
Verse 24.
And to Jesus, the mediator of the new covenant, and to the blood of sprinkling that speaketh better things than that of Abel.
Right? And so we know that we see Abel's blood, it cried out from the ground in death. But Jesus, his blood, it brings what? Life.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. The mediator of the new covenant. Yes, sir. Speaking better things than that of Abel. Okay, verse 25.
See that you refuse not him that speaketh. For if they escape not of who refused him that spake on earth, much more shall not we escape if we turn away from him that speaketh from heaven.
All right. And so you make sure that you don't refuse him that speaketh, which is Christ. He speaks. And how does he speak? He speaks through men, his servants. And if those didn't escape who refused him that spake on the earth, then we have like Moses, Jeremiah, Isaiah.
All of those prophets.
Yes, they were always speaking. Don't think that you're going to escape him that speaks from heaven. Because it ain't going to be good
That's right.
at all. Let's go to Luke 9 in verse 34 and 35.
Luke chapter 9, verse 34 and 35. It says, While he thus spake, there came a cloud and overshadowed them, and they feared as they entered into the cloud. And there came a voice out of the cloud, saying, This is my beloved son. Hear him.
Oh, so this is that him that we supposed
Yes,
to
sir.
hear. Hear ye him. You will not escape if you turn away from him that speaketh from heaven.
Yes, sir.
So those who say they just dealing with the Father, not the Messiah, well, that same Father just told you to hear ye him.
Yep.
So you in trouble.
And that's what Jesus said, that I was sent from heaven. I'm that bread from heaven.
Yes, that's right.
He been telling you,
Been
it's
telling
me.
The whole time. Okay, verse 26.
Hebrews 12 and 26 says, whose voice then shook the earth, but now he hath promised, saying, yet once more I shake not the earth only, but also heaven.
Let us go to Luke 21 and 25. His voice shook the earth, but now he promised, saying, yet once more I shake not the earth only, but also heaven. Oh, it's going to be on and popping. Luke 21, 25 and 27.
And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory.
So it was his voice that shook the earth, but he said, yet once more he going to shake not only the earth, but also of the heaven. And we just read that.
Yep.
We read that, didn't we? He
Yep.
said, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. My goodness. That's going to be, boy, you don't know whether to be happy or scared. But we talking about God. Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness. Whew. And we ain't even got to the Father yet.
Yeah.
We just dealing with the Son. My goodness.
No, angel and people be messed up.
Yes. So that
But
shows
hell himself,
yes.
you ain't ready for this smoke. You scared of what God created. Lions and snakes and spiders,
Yes,
roaches.
you running.
You ain't ready for this. Sharks, bears, got you low ready. You gonna take on the one who created it? You a fool.
Not me. Okay. Back to Hebrews 12 and 27.
It says, and this word yet once more signifieth the removing of those things that are shaken, as of things that are made, that those things which cannot be shaken may remain.
Okay, and so what the word is expressing is about those things made will be shaken and removed, but only the things that cannot be shaken will remain. And so basically he's showing you like all the things that he created, all the heavens and the earth, they're going to be shaken and they removed, but guess who's going to remain? Those ones who are holy and walk in righteousness will be those, because remember he said be not soon shaken. So we're going to be shaken of that, but we will remain. So we'll go back to Hebrews 12 verse 28.
Wherefore we receiving a kingdom which cannot be moved, let us have grace whereby we may serve God acceptably with reverence and godly fear.
Okay, verse 29 too.
For our God is a consuming fire.
All right, now let's go to Psalms 15 and verse 1 through 5.
Psalms 15, 1 through 5. Okay.
Okay.
It says, Lord, who shall abide in thy tabernacle? Who shall dwell in thy holy hill?
So who are those that's going to remain in this kingdom that cannot be shaken or moved? Who? Verse 2.
He that walketh uprightly and worketh righteousness, and speaketh the truth in his heart. He that backbiteth not with his tongue, nor doeth evil to his neighbor, nor taketh up a reproach against his neighbor, and whose eyes a vile person is contemned. But he honoreth them that fear the Lord. He that sweareth to his own hurt and changeth not. He that putteth not out his money to usury, nor taketh reward against the innocent. He that doeth these things shall never be moved.
Those are the ones that's going to be a
Yes,
part
sir.
of that kingdom which cannot be moved. Those
Yes, sir.
are the ones that will remain and be in that kingdom. Isn't that something?
That's
So it all
beautiful.
goes back to righteousness and holiness, which is
That's
not
good.
hard.
Yeah, no, it's not.
But he also said that our God is a what?
Consuming fire. So just
Some
remember.
burning on the other end. You don't want no parts of that.
That's what we read this past Sabbath in the book of Isaiah, the
Yes.
spirit of burning.
That's right.
In Isaiah chapter 4, I'm good, Lord.
Yes. And when I was just thinking back on when the Lord was dealing with those that he loved, he chastised, and he brings that rod of correction. And because we know the Lord will come down from heaven and get a belt
Yeah, and
and start whipping, but he uses people. Didn't he use the other nations on Israel? to
yep,
chastise
sure
them,
did. Uses those nations. Yep.
He uses, it could be your health, anything, bring that chastisement to you. That's why I don't never need him going over there looking at that chastisement, baby.
Yeah.
See what he gonna do. No, I just stay on the straight and narrow, follow the instructions so that I can remain in my Father's house. You ain't got to worry about kicking me out, telling you too grown, you got to go get your own now. That's why you got to have that mind as a child.
That's
You
right.
can stay your father and do what your parents say. Okay, so that's all I had. You had anything else you
No,
want to add?
that was an excellent lesson.
Well, all praises to the Most High. So, family, with that said, we will say
Shalom.